Rolls-Royce charged £12,000 for this optional upgrade, and we're about to try to do it for less than £200. Join us on our journey to build the ultimate balling on a budget limousine to support our race programme this season. Obviously we've got this, hopefully it holds itself in, otherwise you can out. Right guys, welcome back for episode 3 of building the ultimate Volvo limousine, aka a Rolls-Royce on a budget. So today we're going to be fitting something that you'd normally find in a Rolls-Royce, and that is a star headliner. And this is normally going to cost you $12,000 as an optional extra, so I've been told, but so far we're only 150 quid into this at the moment. So we'll go into the cost of it a little bit later, but essentially what you're going to get is a load of fibre optic strands, an LED box, some wiring, and you're going to have to poke a hell of a lot of holes into your headliner to put these through to give you that luxurious starliner look. You're also going to need a drill to make some holes, maybe a pin to make those holes, and you're going to need to take your headlining out to drill those holes and poke all those strands of fibre optic through. We've actually got 720 pieces of fibre optic to go through. We've got a big headliner, so it's going to take a bit of time. So yeah, cheap kit, a lot of time. Our roof was absolutely hanging. It was actually just a bit of cloth that had been stapled up, so I think it had rotten away over time. This car is over 30 years old. So we've bought some new material. This is headliner fabric. You can buy this online. It's actually really cheap, but it's foam backed. So you can spray glue this onto headlining the material when you've taken it all off. Like it's just like board, and you'll get that nice OEM look. So we're going to fit this first, show you how to do that. Then we can get stuck in, put these starlights in, and show you what it looks like. Let's crack on. Right, so first thing first, believe it or not, this is the last part of our headlining. It was actually one piece in the Volvo limousine. We had to cut it into 3 to get it out. So we'll see if that causes us problems later down the line. We had to do a bit of a repair there. It ripped. We weren't really thinking when we took it apart. But if you're doing this on your own car, take a bit of time getting the headliner out. It's probably a lot easier getting a normal car headliner out than it is one for a stretch limousine. So from first thing you have to do, I'm just going to put this out, measure up our material. We're going to spray the spray glue on, push this into place, and it dries in about 10 minutes, so then we can get cracking. Right, to glue the headlining on, we're going to use spray adhesive. You spray this on the headliner and the fabric itself, and it sticks together really quickly, so like this. Well, don't want to get it in your camera then, Lee. Alright, so you want to give that a minute or so just to get tacky. Yeah, this one's not got too much, so
maybe go your
I'll go on my end.
I'll keep this end, yeah,
yeah.
Push it along as you go. Attention,
Yeah, and just a bit of a top tip, if you're working on your headlining and it's not as flat as this one, you probably want to do it bit by bit, so maybe do like half, work it in from the corners out, corners in, and then you can flip it over and do the other side after that. There we go, one new headliner. So now, next step is actually fitting the fibre optics, and I have got 360 of these little bastards to put in. So we're going to have to divide this up because these ones actually come in batches of 60. So I'm going to draw something like halfway, and then do something like that. So the idea behind the star headlining isn't to get them like absolutely dead straight, because the stars aren't like that and it would look weird. So the way I did it on the test piece is I got my pen and I just counted to 60 like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60.
That urge to interrupt you halfway through them.
Yeah, if you had said a number, I would have been gone. You can do that on all the panels. We'll do 2 at a time, because me and Ben can do it together. And this is going to take a little while. So,
see you in a bit.
See you in a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
14, 10.
Right, so this is a pretty tedious part of the job. These fibre optics, they're in batches of 60 rolled up. So I've got 360 fibre optic pieces here. So I can just unwrap that. You can fast forward this, Louis. Right, some of the kits I was looking at had like 400 lights, but they all went into one. So that would have been an absolute massive dreadlock of a cable to manage. So this is bad enough. You don't want to get yourself all tangled. This is when you do stuff for YouTube and you kind of trying to be quick and you f it up. Is that gonna come out? Ben, I might need your help. Now. It's like, Mum, f it up. Avoid doing what I just did and get yourself in a massive tangle. You've got to separate these out and then you can tape them together in a way that's a bit more manageable. Little tubes of light, or little fibre optic tubes. So the LEDs are going to go through the middle, so you don't want to bend them and crack them. It sounds like they snap, doesn't it? But still, yeah, once you got them in one piece like this, obviously that is a mess. So if you tape them together, if you ever try to do this, you will thank me later. Yeah, so if you tape it like this, you can see then it doesn't try and go crazy every time you like turn away from it. So do that to all of them, and then we're ready to make some holes.
5.
We've got 5 more to do. We won't film that. Right, so now we've organised our fibre optics, we're now actually going to start making holes in all these places where I put the random dots. You're going to need something to get through the headliner. So if you're doing this in your car, then if you've got a really hard headliner, you might want to use like a 1mm drill bit to go through. On this, it's actually like it's almost like a cardboard material. So just a little pin, like normal pinboard pin, actually works fine. That goes through the cardboard, and then what we found is if you get your flush cuts and cut the fibre optics at a bit of an angle, then they actually push through the headlining really nicely without making a mess of the headliner. So the idea is to try and make the hole as small as possible, so you're leaving as little marks for the headliner because you don't want to see them. So you don't want to use a big drill bit, and you also want it to be nice and tight because that helps hold these in place. But yeah, first of all, you're going to dot all your holes, and then you're just going to push the fibre optics through material, and you can hit click through, and that's gone through the headliner. So you're just going to let that hang underneath, and once it's all done, you're going to be left with like all the strands hanging down, and then you just need to cut them so it's flush. So see you in a bit. Yeah.
Oh no.
It does appear to be some mould spots on our headlining, and I think Ben's got confused with the dots he made. Yeah, that dot is a mould. that one's mould.
Right, so what are we going to do here then?
You're going to have to start pulling some out. Right, so we're about halfway through this, and one thing that's for sure is it definitely makes it easier if you have more than one pair of hands. So grab your mates, grab a beer. This is going to take a while to complete. Right, so after many hours, we're now left with something that looks like this. So basically you've got loads of fibre optic strands sticking out. Some of them look like an absolute mess, some look a little bit neater, but it doesn't really matter because you're not going to see it. Now the next thing we need to do is make sure that these aren't going to pull back out. So the videos I watched when I was looking to do this, they all suggested using hot glue gun to kind of glue these down. And we tried that, but what we were finding is it was actually melting the fibre optic cables, and then you were losing some of the light effects. But we're just going to tape it and use the spray glue that we got left over just to kind of keep this down. Then it's going to be fixed up and it doesn't really matter what it looks like. So we tried using just the tape on its own, but it just wouldn't stick to the cardboard. It just sounds like they snap, doesn't it? Do you reckon it's going to make the noise again? That just sounded like it snapped, didn't it? Oh, it did. We're down to like 710. Right, so that's pretty much it for this part. Now we just need to fit the headliner in. It doesn't look the prettiest. If you work for Rolls-Royce, I'd love to know what the backside of your headliners look like, and if you do it the same way, because you'd kind of imagine that a company like that probably has some really clever ways of doing it, but also it's probably just like real shady and they're just throwing it through, aren't they? You do have to be careful when you push these down. We did have a few snap, but we've got 700 of them, so I doubt we'll notice. Ben, where are you at? Let's get this in. Look at it.
You're going in first.
I'll go for it, yeah. the front headliner already, because we did this as a bit of a test, and it's come out really nice. The original headliner was actually just stapled in, and it was hanging like the mouth of a tired dog. And Darren actually said they stapled that on the way to Even Flo's wedding, so that was a bit of a funny story. But this came out looking really OEM, and now we're just trying to remember how the rest of the headlining actually goes back in the car.
Many beers have been drunk.
Many beers have been drunk.
So much room in here now.
There is so much room.
It's actually crazy.
Yeah.
You could fit like a full double bed in here.
Yeah. The camping conversion. Did that actually go above? Surely that. Oh, snapped it. Obviously, we've got this. Actually, it holds itself in, otherwise, you'd be out.
That's sharp. Oh.
So we got the first part of the headliner in. Actually matches up really nice with the front. We haven't put the lights in the front because that's for the driver. This is only for the VIP passengers in the back. It looks a bit strange at the moment, but we're actually going to trim this back and then you won't see the wires and you should just see stars. So that's the plan. We're going to put all these fibre optic cables, run them to the back now, and then we can make the last panel, and then we can switch it on. So it's all well getting in the headliner. We've also got to get these fibre optics to where the power box or the light box is. So it's either at the front or the rear of the car, and that is easier said than done. So we are fighting at the moment. Okay, so we're going to need to run it like that, and then this is how the billionaires sit and feel. I feel so rich now. I think we might need your pair of hands here, Louis. Right, so we've got the headliner back in, and as you can see now, we've got all the fibre optics that we just like poked through. Yeah, fitting them, trying to not get stabbed in the eye was interesting. And now we've got to see if all these reach the controller or the light box, and then we can test it, and then we can just cut these off, and then we should be balling.
Rolls-Royce on the budget.
Yeah, available for $5.99 per mile.
There's one plug.
What are we doing right now?
Extending some cables because they weren't long enough for the limo.
Any reason why they weren't long enough?
I miscalculated something. It's like I'm in some kind of hippie experiment in here. So now we've got to try and tuck them in behind and hide them and then cut them back. We're going to do that. Let's go.
Very VIP.
Who's that?
And Axel's just, okay, we'll go.
So we've got the headliner all in place now and all the little trims around it. That's probably the hardest part, making sure you have enough space for the fibre optics to actually go back and be hidden. So now we've just got to cut out all the little strands. I'm going to use a pair of flush cuts, which is a 90-degree flush cut. So I can just pick that up, pinch it, and you'll snip them off. And then we're pretty much good to go. Only 720 of these to go. Cool, this is actually quite therapeutic doing this, and you get a nice little head massage at the same time. Probably should be wearing some form of eye protection. These things stab you in the eye and it's pretty sharp. And you get like an absolute laser beam at the same time into your eyeballs. We've only got 700 of these to go. For a Rolls-Royce owner, it's a bit of a flex, having a £12,000 headliner. My car was only a quarter of that for the whole car. And I've done it for £150. But it actually looks really good. It's quite an easy mod. Like, you could do this to your car. You probably wouldn't want to do it in your finance mobile or one of your brand new cars, but that is the beauty of buying old cars that don't cost very much, is you can do all these little fun little mods. You don't really have to worry about what the next owner is going to think.
How long do you reckon it's taken, if somebody was to do this at home, and
so
how do you reckon it would take?
The longest part was threading all the fibre optics in. Full day's work, at least, if you're quick. And that was with a friend, I'd say. Depending on how long and how difficult it is to take your headliner down, because that's a job in itself. It's probably a good 10 hours to install.
It's a weekend job.
It's a weekend job, yeah. You're not doing this the night before using your car.
You're making good progress, actually.
One of the things to note is you kind of want to snip these so they end up flush. If you get them perfectly flush, you get a really bright star. And if you kind of push up before you cut, then it sits a bit further in and you get a bit more of a dimmer star. The idea isn't to get them all looking the same, because then you don't have a star effect. So you can kind of just do it randomly. Same with the placement. It doesn't really matter where you go. Down to the last one.
Boom.
Boom. Right.
What's your reaction?
Whoa! Wow! This is sick. So when we bought this car, it didn't really have a headliner. It was actually hanging. Like instantly, this looks like the car is at least twice as expensive. It's probably a £12,000 car now. So just as much of a headliner the car is now worth, but that looks sick. Yeah, it's a really cool effect you could do quite cheaply if you've got a bit of spare time. Like, this looks baller. This would look really cool even in just like your family estate or just any car. And now the lights are off and you're sitting here, you totally forget that you're in a like 40-year-old Volvo. It actually feels like you're in something that costs a lot of money. And I've definitely got more leg room than a Rolls-Royce. Now that the inside looks absolutely sick, all we've got to do is get the outside to match. So I can't wait till we've got this all wrapped with new Arlon wrap. It's going to be black with some matte black, satin black, mixing it up. It's going to be real stealth, big chrome wheels. It's going to be slammed. This thing is going to look sick. All right guys, now this is complete. Let's get back out the car, have a breakdown of all the costs and compare this to the real Rolls-Royce. Right guys, so you've seen how sick that looks, so we thought we'd break it down on costs. So, comparing the Volvo to a Rolls-Royce. So, Rolls-Royce. Now, if you're a baller, you're obviously going to buy a new one. So that's going to be £400,000 plus. And that's without the headliner, which twinkles like the stars, 12,000. Now, our Volvo limo, which is ultimately going to turn more heads anyway, £4,000 after a few bits of repair that we had to do. And the headliner kit, oh no, £150. Now, what you can see here is you're getting 100 times more value when you buy the Volvo limo. Now, I don't have anywhere near that much money. I'd have to sell my house and I still wouldn't be able to afford one of these. But if you can, I guess that's nice. But for us normal folk, we can recreate this at much lower costs. And that's what we're planning on this build. So you've already seen, we've got the air ride suspension on. We've now got the interior sorted. We still need a minibar and we definitely need the wheels sorting, but we have a plan for that. So more of that on the next episode. So yeah, if you're new to this channel, hit like, hit subscribe, drop us a comment. Have you done this? Would you do it to your car? Did it make it look good? How far off are we from a Rolls-Royce? Let us know.